move on to the second strategy now, which is stay positive. One of the great benefits of positive thinking is that it can quieten down the fear and the irrational mind chatter that goes on by focusing our thoughts on something that is more calming. Thoughts are powerful triggers for emotions, and for every negative niggling doubt that you have, on the flip side, there will always be a more hopeful alternative. Staying positive in the face of adversity can be difficult, but it's important that we try and work on that to maintain a more optimistic outlook. Being optimistic doesn't mean being naive or ignoring a problem. It means understanding the situation, accepting that setbacks will occur, but that they are recoverable and that you have got that inner strength and talent and skills to overcome it. So much of resilience is about how you respond. I've already said that 80% of all our thoughts are negative. And we know from science that our brains are far more sensitive to things which are negative and potential threats compared to the positives and opportunities that are out there. And a lot of that 80% of our thoughts that I'm talking about are unconscious thoughts. Remember, we're processing 11 billion pieces of information at any one point in the unconscious mind. Sometimes we miss opportunities because we're overly focused on the doom and gloom, the negatives of a situation. So here are a few things that we can do to help us maintain a more positive outlook. First of all, and I love this one, think of a happy memory, a time when you were feeling great, when life was good. Now, I know it's a little while ago because we're coming around to the next season of it, shall we say, or the next series. But last year, I was a fan of I'm a Celebrity, and I absolutely loved Jordan, who was in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, because when he was faced with some of the most horrific, terrifying kind of challenges, you could hear him repeating over and over and over again, happy place, happy place. He was mentally putting himself in a happy place so that he could put up with all the horrible things that were happening to him, all the spiders and goodness knows what else were eating away, snakes. I think he was terrified of snakes, and he was buried alive with snakes at one point. So, but he was going to his happy place. Turn negatives around. Glass half full, glass half empty. Spend time searching out the positive in a situation. Listen to your language that you're using, how you're talking to yourself. Catch yourself using words like can't, won't, couldn't, shouldn't, because these are all obstacles to our positive thinking. Don't just accept things at face value. Be curious. Ask why questions. Stop thinking in terms of failing and reframe it as learning. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay for things to go wrong, so long as we learn from them. Take the time to reflect upon the positives and the successes in your life. Keep a journal every day and write about the positives and the successes in life. And focus on repatterning our mindset. So our mindset comes from our inner reality, the way we perceive and interpret the world around us. 94% of that comes from our own inner reality. Now then, some of you may well be familiar with this quote, but it's really important. Stephen Covey said, "We must look at the lens through which we see the world, as well as the world we see, and understand that the lens itself shapes how we interpret the world." So our lens is very unique to us and is totally different to the next person's lens. And that's what makes up that 94% of our mindset, that inner reality. The other 6% of our mindset is based on physical evidence and fact. Now, here's the rather shocking fact that it is emerging, shall we say, from neuroscience. And that is, it's now thought that as much as 72% of the information influencing our mindset is inaccurate information. And that's based on some research carried out by Dr. Andre and Christian Vermeulen, and they're South African, I believe. And they've done an awful lot of research into this very fact of our mindset. And it can be really hard to see the impact of our thoughts, which are based on that inner reality, which we now know may not be as reliable as we actually think. So we need to remember that actions follow our thoughts, but it is possible to take control and take charge of our thinking. And here's Dr. Ian Weinberg is a neuroscientist and author of a book called Conscious Awareness. And this is what he said: when you change the way you think, you change your perception of reality. When you change your perception of reality, you change your expectations. When you change your expectations, you change your attitude. When you change your attitude, you change your behavior. When you change your behavior, you change your performance. When you change your performance, you change your life. So I'm going to leave this section just on a thought and get you to reflect. Which wolf are you feeding? The bad wolf or the good wolf? Because whichever one you feed or give your attention to will be the one that thrives. So which do you feed? The bad, the negative, or the good, the positive?